During the 2020 lockdowns, Kelly and I made this podcast to talk about the movies that we love while bored at home. We tried so many different ways to record and edit, but found it difficult and we experienced some bad sound quality until we found Zencaster. It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencaster. Log in using your browser and start recording a high quality podcast right away. Record studio quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencaster's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. If you have thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. With Zencaster's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. So go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use our code SYTYI, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all of our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
Hey guys, you've heard us talk about how we want to live our lives in balance with our hectic work lives to getting a workout in and treating our bodies better. I've been changing my routine up at the gym and getting myself to eat better. And one thing I'm adding is liquid IV. In one stick, I'm getting 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than if I drank water alone. It's great for those tough workouts where I need an extra boost or when I'm feeling a little run down after a long day at work. I love how on the go this packaging is. I throw a few in my gym or my work bag and it takes up zero space. And the taste is amazing. Since it's summertime, I'm reaching more for strawberry lemonade. And with other great summer flavors like watermelon and guava, there's something for everyone. And it's not just the flavor that will have you grabbing for more. Like I said, Liquid IV contains 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, and B12, and vitamin C. And it's made with premium ingredients. So, if you want to up your hydration game this summer, get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code SYTYI at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using our code SYTYI at liquidiv.com.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast. Goodness. It's almost time, Kelly.
It's almost time.
I have one more week.
You're almost there.
I'm so close.
I'm so happy for you.
It's taking everything in me not to call out tomorrow. I called out on Friday because I wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to just extend it a day.
You've had the taste of freedom for 3 whole days, and you're like, you know what?
I don't want to go back.
I know I said 2 weeks, but what about 1 week?
It's technically been 2 weeks. Already. I actually gave them a 3-week notice. It's technically already. But yeah. Oh, how was your week?
You set a date, so
I did.
It was okay.
Okay.
My week was okay.
Cool.
I do have some beef with my town though.
Oh, what's going on there?
Because why is everything closed on Sunday? Why is absolutely everything closed on Sunday?
I have no idea.
Because I had a list of things to do today, and during the work week when it's really slow, I look up places because I still don't know this area. I look up places where I can get all my stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things on my list that I wanted to do today, I wanted to get my eyebrows done because I haven't gotten them done since 2019. And so I looked up a place during the week and I didn't even check the hours. I was just like, oh, this place is in town. It's 20 minutes away. I'll go there, get my eyebrows done. I get ready. I get in the car. I'm telling my dad I'll be really quick. And I get in the car. I look up the place. It's closed today. And I found out, and I'd complained to my dad, and he's all even car dealerships are closed today.
Car dealerships don't close.
Exactly. They're closed today on Sunday. Oh, and he's yeah, they're always closed on Sundays. He's that's why you don't see anybody at the car dealerships. I'm excuse me?
That's weird.
Who said everyone could be closed on Sunday? I know y'all ain't at church. I know it.
What is everyone doing?
Y'all ain't at church. Exactly. Like, who decided that? How long ago? And can we change it,
I
please?
mean, I mean, love that for the workers, but like that's
Yeah, love that.
very inconvenient for like society as
Everyone
a
else.
whole.
Yeah. Yeah, because see, when y'all are closed, when y'all are open, I work.
Yeah.
And everything closes early because it's a small town. So by the time I get home, everything is closed.
Hmm.
So there needs to
We're
be
at a catch-22 at this point.
right, right. So either y'all are open like an extra hour later so that I can make it, or y'all open for like a couple hours on a Sunday.
Hmm.
I I don't know.
Something needs to be done.
Something needs to be done because I can't even like get my hair cut on Sundays. Like that's how awful it is.
That's what you get for moving there. I don't know what to tell you.
I know, I know. I'm also it's been a year. Did you know that? It's been a year.
Yay!
Yay? Are we yaying that?
I mean, sure. Yay!
We're working on the comeback though. We're working on the comeback.
Hmm. Kelly just needs to be like me. She just needs to be delusional and just do it and just know that everything will work out.
Will it though? I don't know if I'm
If
that Delulu.
I am, it always works out.
I mean, true. It for some reason you always land on your feet.
I always land on
I
my
kn-
feet. I'm like a
I
cat.
know for sure I will not land on my feet. I will
You,
kind of land on
you,
my.
you would be
I'll
fine.
land on my side. I'll land on my side. I'll kind of on my feet, but like I'll tip over.
I feel like Kelly just doesn't embrace her Delulu side. Like, if you just be a little Delulu sometimes, everything will work out fine. Like, you're not going to end up homeless. Like,
I
you'll
won't. Yeah, I won't.
you'll be fine. And if you have to take like a small little side job until you get an actual job, like you'll be fine.
I would be fine with a side job, and it's not like I don't have family that could like house me for a little
Exactly. Kelly just needs to enter her Delulu era,
bit.
like me.
2024 is my Delulu era.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So,
I
but
think,
but like, how Delulu can I be? Can I be like
girl,
Delulu?
don't get crazy, but like,
Okay.
I said
See,
Delulu, not crazy.
I need to know the limits of the
You
Delulu.
know, just be a little delusional, not crazy.
Not like my ex will take me back, Delulu.
No, that's literally crazy. And
Okay.
honestly, why would you want to do that?
No, that was just a hypothetical question. I was just asking.
Okay. But yeah, yeah, just throw caution to the wind. Just do it.
Okay.
Just quit your
Okay.
job and just move back.
2024 is my year of Delulu.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give myself 3 months to get into the Delulu headspace.
Okay.
So January 1, I will be full Delulu.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah,
That's a good plan.
yeah.
I also sort of strategically plan my Delulu eras, so that works.
Yeah, yeah. See, I have that much anxiety that like I have to plan for the Delulu. I can't just straight
Same.
jump into the Delulu.
Same.
Yeah, we gotta
Except for the
plan
last
for it.
time I was Delulu. That was very spontaneous, but you know,
And you lived,
I lived.
so
I thrived. Well,
yes,
sort of. I did
sort
better.
of, a little. You made it though. That's
I
that's
made it.
what
That's all that
that's what
matters.
matters.
Hmm.
All right. So
Anything
I've
else? Anything else happen?
not really. Kind of a slow week, if I'm being honest.
Oh, okay.
Which love that for me.
Well, that for you too.
How was
As
your
for
week?
me, the week was slow, but like not in the way I wanted to. Like it was stretching. Like this week felt like 2 weeks
Oh,
long. It felt
mm,
so long.
yeah.
And
Okay.
then Thursday, I wasn't feeling well, and I
Hmm.
went to work anyway because one of my like coworkers was supposed to like be taking over for me. He was out on Wednesday, so I was like,
Oh,
I don't know if he's coming back today. And I was like, someone needs to be in charge. I was like, I guess I'll go. He ended up coming, and
oh, good.
I did not feel good all day. Like literally, I went to work, and I swear while I was walking to work, I felt like I was gonna pass out. Still
Oh,
went to work though. Still,
I've gone to work with a full-on fever before, so.
I had a fever. I swear when I was walking, I like kind of blacked out for like half a second. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I went to work, and then I told my coworkers like halfway through the day, I was like, "Yo, I'm not coming tomorrow." I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm not." And so Friday, or so that night, I came home. I took a COVID test. It came back negative. But then my mom was like, "You should probably go to like the doctor and like get like an actual COVID test just in case."
Mm.
And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I went on Friday. So I called on Friday, went on Friday to get a COVID test, came back negative. So, like I said, I'm 1,000% sure at this point that I have the cure for COVID in my blood.
Yeah. Neither of us have been touched
Nope.
by the COVID monster, so
My entire family has had it at this point, except for
same.
me.
Same.
So, yeah,
I
there's
don't
something.
know, whatever government like official is listening, because I know you're listening.
Mhm.
Like, you know where we are.
Yeah. The next time I get blood tests, when I go for like my yearly check in, maybe like steal my blood. Just like see what's going on in
Right.
there.
Right. I got an appointment coming up soon. Y'all can just slip some of that out when I do some blood tests and whatever.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Just see what.
I'm giving you my my okay right now.
Yeah, I'm giving you the okay.
Yeah,
Just see what's going on.
I'm very willing to help humanity. You know.
And also, since I'm entering my Delulu era, I've been looking up. Um, I think I'm going to try to go to Disneyland next week. I
Oh,
want
you're
to take a
going
look.
next week.
I think so. I want to not like next week
No, yeah, I know what you
because I
mean,
have to
but
work
like,
next week, but like the week
yeah,
after
the
that.
week after. Yeah.
Because I kind of just want to go on a little trip, a little like 2 day Disney trip. Sounds really fun.
I mean,
I kind of want to do it.
my brother and I are trying to go.
When are you guys going? I'll just go with you guys. When are you guys going?
I don't know. We haven't picked a time yet because he wants to go during spooky season, but I don't. I kind of want to go during Christmas season.
Why not both? Girl, come
That's what
on.
I'm saying. But like,
Why not both?
he wants to do spooky season, so I'll ask him later, see what time he wants to go, and I'll tell you.
We go early October for spooky season, come back around late November, early December for Christmas.
That long weekend in November.
Yes. Come on, girl.
That's where I went. That's when I want to go. I want to go for that long weekend in November.
I'll be there with you. Tell me when. I'll book a ticket, drive my car. I don't care. Meet you
Right.
there.
We're gonna be there either way.
I'll be there anyway. Yeah, let me know because I'm trying. Like I've literally been looking for like
I've
I was
actually looked. I've
I was
legit looked.
like I literally on my phone right now have a package on Disneyland.com. Like I've been
I
looking through the
literally did that this
packages.
week. I did that this week. I literally looked up for like 2 or 3 people because I don't know if my cousin would want to go. I know she would love to because she's just like that. Um, so I literally looked up a whole package for like Disneyland Friday, California Saturday, and I was like,
Girl, why was I doing the same thing? You and I are so simpatico.
no, seriously, we're the
But
same
actually,
person.
I was like, maybe since I'm not even going to be working, maybe I'll just go during the week, and then like the lines will
Dude,
be
you
shorter.
should. Honestly, going during the week. I've never gone during the week, but like, I'm sure it must be so much nicer.
But yeah, I'll hold off on mine. I'll wait for an update for
Okay.
you. See what's
Okay.
going on there. I'll pick
Okay.
up your cousin if necessary. I don't know if she still lives out here. I don't.
Who?
What?
Or she doesn't.
You're talking about M, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if she
Yeah.
lives out here anymore.
She's still there.
Oh, okay.
She's just
Yeah.
closer to me. She was closer to me.
Oh, we could carpool or take a flight together or whatever.
Why not?
Why not?
I know
But
she
yeah,
just started a job, but she'd take time off. I know her.
me.
she
Uh,
she would not care.
yeah. Let me know. Let me know.
I will.
Um, but yeah, that's it for me. Let's hope this week goes by quickly.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check in on you.
Thanks. Let's see if they're like driving me up the wall by Wednesday, and then I just like fuck it and just leave.
You know what? They're probably like, oh, we have time to ask him all this stuff, and then they're gonna realize by like Wednesday, Thursday that they haven't asked you something, and then you're just gonna get bombarded. I bet you.
I will give them until Wednesday to ask me for stuff. After that, I'm done. Thursday and Friday, Friday especially, don't ask me for anything. Don't
You're
Don't.
leaving
Like,
early.
I'm leaving early. Any
There's no
questions you
point.
have, I'm gonna be like, oh, ask him.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's not my job anymore. Ask him.
literally. Thursday
So
and
yeah.
Friday are for sneaking snacks into your bag and to your car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what they're for.
I think I'm also leaving early on Thursday so I can go watch a movie. I
Ooh.
have like 2 movies scheduled for this week.
Of course you do.
So yeah.
Oh, also make sure you sit in your massage chair.
Yeah, I need to say goodbye to her before I leave.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually Wednesday and Friday. I have my movies.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
I'll sneak in another one on Thursday. Who knows?
why not? Why not?
I get 3 a week. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so everyone be like me. Be just a little delusional, just a little.
Yeah. Or if you need time to plan like me, you can join me in being Delulu January 1.
Mm-hmm. Start planning your delusion now. Whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want to happen, start planning it now.
Start planning it now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make a mood board, journal it out if you need to, Excel sheet it, whatever you need to do to be
Mm-hmm.
Delulu for 2024.
Yeah, start building out your plan,
Mm-hmm.
saving up your money if you need to. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what your plans are.
Yeah.
Uh, just be ready.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of ready, Kelley, I'm ready for you to talk about this movie.
Speaking of Delulu and Unhinged,
Yes.
we are talking about Monty Python and the Holy Grail this week.
Mm-hmm.
We start this movie in England, 932 AD.
Okay. See, look, I had to ask. I wrote this down. I had to ask you. Um, so it is 932 AD
Mm-hmm.
because for like a split second I thought maybe it was 93 squared AD because the 2 was a little
Yeah.
like smaller than the 9 and the 3.
Whatever
So
font they used. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, what's happening? Also, did you notice they kept putting random moose jobs in the credits?
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
because I
There's
noticed
a
it was like
there's a
moose
fact about that.
supervisor.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I just kept seeing more moose stuff, and I was like, oh.
Also
And then
appearing. Also appearing.
yeah, and then imagine my surprise when there's no moose in this movie.
uh, yes. Yeah, I skipped over the beginning, but the whole beginning is like older movies where they have the credits at the beginning. But it's
Mhm.
just very unserious. It's
Very
very
unserious.
unserious.
They changed the font, like right.
Yeah. Uh, um, so we see King Arthur and his servant Patsy, quote unquote, riding up to a castle looking for knights to join his court at Camelot.
They were
And I say,
gallivanting.
yeah, they are
Like
gallivanting, and they don't have horses.
they don't
They
have
have they have
horses.
coconuts that make the hoof noise.
Yeah.
But everyone like is convinced they're on horses, or at
Hmm.
least King Arthur and his court like believe they're on horses. Everyone's like, you're not actually riding a horse. And at this castle, the guard gives him trouble about the coconuts and how he's like not riding a horse. Where the heck did you get coconuts? This is England.
Hmm.
What is going on here? After a while, King Arthur leaves when he can't get an audience with the king. Like the guards are just not paying attention to him anymore.
Yeah.
We then go to a local town where they're being ravaged by some kind of illness, and they are collecting the dead. One man tries to give an old man over, but he's not dead. And everyone can see he's clearly not dead, but eventually the guy who's collecting him just kills him anyway and pops him in the pile. King Arthur and Patsy ride through the town and then run into 2 peasants asking for information about the local king. But they can't because the 2 peasants are talking about whatever government they are in
Hmm.
and the intricacies of all of that.
Yeah, because King Arthur is like, I'm a king, and he's like,
King of,
who's king? King of
right.
what?
King of who? Not me. I did not vote for you.
Right? He's like, I didn't vote for you. He's like, that's not how kings work. He was like, I.
And And then he's like, I ordered you to do this. And he's like, well, you can't order me because you're not my king.
Yeah.
And also, if you try to make an order, like there's two different like groups you have to go through before that order can be placed out to us, because that's how our government works. So yeah, they get into that whole thing.
They were gaslighting him, and I loved it.
They were very much gaslighting him. And then King Arthur and Patsy have to continue because they're not getting anywhere with them either. They then run into two knights who are fighting, and the Black Knight eventually wins. So Arthur tries to talk him into joining Camelot, but the knight won't say anything until he tries to pass him, saying like, yo, no one gets by me. I don't want to join your court. And if you want to get by me, you can't, because I have to kill you or you have to fight me. So Arthur fights the knight, and after cutting off all of his limbs, is he able to pass.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive, by the way.
He's still alive.
All of his limbs are off, but he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
We then see another town, and we see a group of men who claim to have found a witch. And so they go to the knight that's of the town. I'm not sure. And he interrogates the group on why they think that she's a witch. But the girl who they are claiming to be a witch, she's like, they literally dressed me up to look like a witch. I'm not a witch. I don't know why I'm here.
Exactly.
And they can't give good evidence about why she's a witch anyway. They try to claim that she's got a wart. One of them claims that she turned him into a newt. They have no evidence.
No evidence.
Arthur then gets involved with the debate, and somehow they figure out that if the witch can float like a piece of wood, but also like a duck, she's a witch.
Whatever that means.
Yes, whatever that means. It doesn't make any sense, but they accept it. Mm-hmm. So they weigh the duck against the witch, and they find that they are equal in weight, so she is a witch.
Yeah.
Yes, because she can float in water, and apparently witches float in water, and since ducks float in water and they're the same weight, she's a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they take her off to be burned, and Arthur, who is in awe of the knight's wisdom, asks him to join his court, and he agrees. So he then becomes Sir Bedivere, and then Lancelot, Galahad, Robin, and Sir not appearing in this film become Knights of the Round Table.
Mm-hmm. I'm very happy they didn't make us go through meeting all of the knights.
Yes. I know, because like, I always look up the cast before I do the notes, and it's been a very long time since I've watched this movie, and I was like, I don't remember if they do all of the knights or not. And I was like, oh good, there's only 4 of them I have to remember.
Mm-hmm.
So Arthur and his knights show up to Camelot, but they don't go inside, because inside are a bunch of other knights that are singing and dancing about their responsibilities. So they decide to go elsewhere. Arthur and his group are then visited by God and given a mission to find the Holy Grail. Arthur and their group then... Yep. This is where it starts to get a little more unhinged, I will say.
Yes.
Like, it was kind of ridiculous before, but now this is going to get unhinged. Arthur and their group then travel the land until they reach a castle and explained that they're looking for the Holy Grail and ask for shelter. But the French guard says they already have the Grail and they can't help them because they have a Grail. They don't want to give it to them, and they don't want to help them, period. The French guard then makes fun of them, and Arthur says that they will attack, and the French start immediately throwing livestock at them, and they retreat. Bedivere then comes up with a plan, and the plan is to make a Trojan horse of sorts. But instead of them being in the wooden rabbit that they put in front of the castle, Bedivere explains the plan after they already give the wooden rabbit.
Yeah.
So that doesn't
So it does
work out.
nothing. Yep.
It doesn't work. It does nothing. And the French eventually catapult the wooden rabbit back out at them. We then see a famous historian. We are in some
Hmm.
kind of. We are not in England 1932 AD
Yeah, we're in
anymore.
some weird time loop at this point.
Yes. And this is important, by the way. This is actually important. We see a famous historian then explaining, they show them, they're filming it, explaining how King Arthur and his group have come to a new plan and decide to split up as he is killed by some knight passing by. We see Sir Robin goes north with his favorite minstrels as they sing about the many ways that he could die.
The Brave Sir Robin song is a bop.
It
It,
is.
it's a bop.
they,
They
they they kind of went off with that, if I'm
they
being
kind of
honest.
ate that one little thing. They
But
did. They did.
I know Robin was mad about like how he's not actually heroic and stuff like that, but like they were killing it.
Enjoy the song.
Enjoy the song. As they travel, they run into a three-headed knight who can't make up their minds about killing him. And when they finally do decide on killing Robin, he's already gone.
Hmm.
Um, Sir Galahad, on the other hand, finds a castle that he thinks the Grail is in because he sees like an emblem appear over the castle. That's the Grail. Um, when he gets to the castle, he is greeted by Zoot, who runs Castle Anthrax.
Hmm.
And sorry. And when he asks about the Grail, she totally ignores him and just says, "Hey, you have to stay with us. We'll prepare you a bed. Like, please don't like say no. You're gonna like hurt our feelings." Blah blah blah. As he's escorted around the castle, Zoot keeps ignoring his questions about the Grail, and he is then forced into a examination by their quote unquote doctors.
Yeah.
But he is Galahad the Chaste, so he's not into anything like
Hmm.
that with anybody. So he's like, "You can't
He
touch
does.
me. I'm
He does not want to
uncomfortable."
be tempted by women.
Yes. But unfortunately, the whole castle is just full of women, and he keeps running into them.
Yeah.
He then runs into Dingo, who is Zoot's twin sister, and she explains that the grail that he saw above the castle was a signal that Zoot lit, and she shouldn't have done that. Dingo then breaks the fourth wall to ask about the quality of the scene, saying that they were the best one so far,
Hmm.
before going back into the scene and explaining to Galahad that Zoot and the rest of the women in Castle Anthrax need to be punished by being spanked.
Yes, they must be spanked.
And then something is mentioned about oral sex, but we never get to hear about it. Thank God.
Yeah.
And we don't get to hear about it because Sir Lancelot has shown up to save him. And by that point, Galahad is like, "No, no, 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 I can stay.
Yeah.
It's
He's like,
fine."
wait, wait. Let's hear them out.
Yeah, he's like, "Wait a minute, there's 150 of them. They only require a spanking. I can do it. I
I
can
can do it.
vanquish these women. It's fine."
I can make time on my schedule.
Right. He's like, I need to thoroughly investigate this. Maybe they do have the Grail. We then go back to Arthur and Bedivere as they are talking to a strange old man with a strange eye that talks about a dangerous cave that may or may not have the Grail before suddenly disappearing. Arthur and Bedivere are then in a foggy forest when they run into the knights who say "Nyeh."
This knee bit was very old school humor.
It was very.
I'm so sorry. I got tired of this very quickly. I was
Did
like,
you?
can we please stop this? And it went on for like three
it,
scenes.
it
I
goes
was
on for
like,
a very long time.
I was like, okay, it's not funny anymore. Can we please move on to something else?
Um, and these are the protectors of the sacred word. What the sacred word is, we don't know.
I think it was
And they
from.
is it from?
Because that's the word they can't say, right? Or they can't hear or whatever.
I thought it was because they try to figure it out. I thought it was. It's not is. I thought it was it for a second, but is it from?
I don't know. I think it was from.
It might be.
Maybe.
We're just gonna go with that one.
The world may never know.
Yeah. Um, and the Knights of Nich won't let Arthur and Bedivere pass without a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is a shrubbery, a good shrubbery.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't produce it, they will be killed. We then see the dead historian's death being investigated by police. This is still
Yes.
important to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Sir Lancelot's journey. He is by himself, and we see a father showing his son the swampy land he will rule one day, but his son is not interested. He just wants to sing. The son's name is Herbert, and he is going to be married to Princess Loki, whose father owns a lot of land. And his father orchestrated this whole thing because he needs land that when he builds on it, the buildings won't sink into the ground because it's swampland. So the king and the guards struggle on who is supposed to watch the prince. And while this is happening, the prince writes something down on a piece of paper, ties it to an arrow, and shoots it out the window. Sir Lancelot and Concourt, his servant, are in a forest when Concourt is shot with the prince's arrow with the note on it, and explains that he is being held at Swamp Castle. Concourt isn't dead or mortally injured, but Lancelot tells him to wait for him anyway in the forest, and he'll come back after saving whoever wrote the note, because he doesn't know yet. Princess Loki is getting ready for the wedding, and a bunch of festivities are happening at the castle when Lancelot just shows up and starts slaughtering people.
For no reason.
No reason. Doesn't ask any questions, doesn't say anything, just starts swinging. And then when he gets to the highest part of the tower, he finds Prince Herbert there. And he's very confused because he's like, I thought you were a princess, and I thought I was doing a good deed by coming to save a princess. The king then comes up and questions Lancelot on what he's doing, while the prince still tries to do his escape and ends up falling out of the window and dying.
Mm-hmm.
He then brings Lancelot back down to where the festivities are happening, because the king tries to explain that, hey, Lancelot is a knight of Camelot, and Camelot has a lot of land, so let's be nice to this man, because I need new land.
Exactly.
But the people are upset because he killed the princess's father. He killed a bunch of other people, and they're like, yeah, no, this guy has to pay. The king then explains who Lancelot is to the wedding guests, and then proceeds to adopt, quote unquote, Princess Loki, because his own son is dead. But the king is not dead. The princess's dad is not dead.
He's not dead.
He's alive. He's very much alive.
Talking,
but he kills him.
Coherent.
Yeah, coherent. But the king's like, nah, I'm going to adopt Princess Loki. Look how nice I'm being. And they kill the king. Yeah. Nobody sees it, by the way, I don't think.
Yeah, they kind of
do
it. Or
none of them
Well, no one's paying attention. They just
right,
him.
Right, exactly. So he is now dead, and adopts Princess Loki because he is grieving for his own son, and she needs a father. Mm-hmm. But Prince Herbert is alive.
Yeah.
And he comes into the castle.
He's like, I lived, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And he finally gets to sing his song about being alive. Yeah. He's been wanting to sing this whole time.
He's been wanting to sing so much.
Yes. Also, why does he look like he's half dead? He looks sick.
He probably is.
Yeah, he looks very pale. He looks very frail. I don't know how long he's going to be alive to marry Princess Loki, but
he's probably got one. He's probably got one cold season left in him. That's it.
Yeah. We are then back with King Arthur and Bedivere, and they show up to a local town looking for shrubbery. But the woman that is part of the town won't help her, so they start to nyeh her. Apparently, if you say it in a certain way, it hurts people.
It hurts people.
So they like torture her with the nyeh. Um, a man traveling through the town says how disrespectful they are being for torturing the old woman. And he says that he's a shrubberer.
He sells shrubbery.
Yes, he sells shrubbery. And so King Arthur and Bedivere then return to the knights who say Nyeh, who then suddenly change their name after getting the shrubbery, telling them that now, since they're different knights, they need a new shrubbery and they need to cut a tall tree down with a herring, which is a fish. The king then says a certain word that frightens the knights and like hurts them. And they try to figure it out, but they can't. When Sir Robin shows up. And while they are talking, they quote unquote defeat the knights by saying whatever word hurts them, and they leave.
Yep.
Arthur, Robin, and Bedivere are still looking for the enchanter. That's why they needed to get past the knights who say Nyeh. When they run into Galahad and Lancelot. So they all group up back together and they start on their journey again. And they travel for a long time where they eventually have to eat Robin's minstrels. And like a year passes and they eventually find the enchanter, who's named Tim, blowing stuff up in the mountains. He knows about Arthur and his mission and when he asks if he knows where the Grail is, he says that he does. He tells them that it's in a heavily guarded cave, and eventually leads them to it. The creature guarding the cave turns out to be a small white rabbit. And Arthur, not believing Tim, sends one of his soldiers to kill the rabbit, and the rabbit immediately decapitates the soldier. The group then charges the rabbit, and when they can't defeat it, they decide to retreat. Arthur then decides to use the holy hand grenade and gets instructions on how to use it.
Yep, that's something that happens.
Yep. After the grenade blows up, the police that were investigating the famous historian's death hear it and go to investigate.
Yep.
This is also still important to the plot of the movie.
Is it?
I mean, it intersects, okay? The group venture into the cave, and when they go in, they find a message in Aramaic. And it says that those valiant and pure of spirit will find the grave in the castle of Like, They think it's not a typo, but they think it's a mistake. Yes, more noises. They think it's a mistake. When Sir Bedivere sees the black beast that roams the cave, but the beast is defeated when the animator dies of a heart attack.
Yeah, there's this running like lack of budget joke that keeps happening, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, the movie's almost over. I don't know why you're still doing. Also, they have an intermission at the end of the movie. I was just like, what was this for? I was like, there's like 5 minutes left. What do you mean intermission?
Right. Why do we need an intermission? We're almost there. So the group then makes it to the Bridge of Death, and the old man of 24, who they talked to earlier that told them of Tim the Enchanter, says that he has 3 questions to ask you, and if you can't answer them, you are then thrown into the pit of despair. But if you can answer them all correctly, you can cross. So Sir Lancelot is sent to answer the questions, and the questions that he get are: what is his name, what is his mission, and what is his favorite color? And he is able to cross. The group go to answer the questions because they're like, if it's that easy, then we're fine. But they are changed. Sir Robin gets asked the capital of a country. I don't remember which one. Galahad is asked what his favorite color was, but answers wrong
Yeah.
somehow.
Actually, no. I think it was because he said one color and then he was like, "Wait, no." And then he said another color and then I
Yeah,
guess that was like, "Oh, I guess you don't know." And so they just
right, right,
killed him.
right. He's like, wait, it's blue. Like, wait a minute. Like, he wanted to change his mind.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been true. Blue could
Yeah.
have been one, but like his favorite color might have been like green or something.
Mhm.
But he's thrown into the pit of despair.
Yep.
And when Arthur is asked a question, he brings up he is asked if a swallow can fly something. And Arthur asks the man back, he's like, well, which swallow do you mean? There's like two types of swallows. I need to know which one so I can answer your question. And since the man doesn't know,
He
he is
gets
thrown into
thrown
the
in.
pit.
Yeah.
So Arthur and Bedivere make it across the bridge after an intermission.
Mhm.
Um, when they get to the other side, Arthur and Bedivere can't find Lancelot because he is being searched by police. He was caught and is being searched by police.
Yeah.
When Arthur and Bedivere hear a choir sing, they follow it and after walking for a long time find a dragon boat that takes them to the castle of Ah. Arthur and Bedivere stop to praise God because they finally found the castle when they find that it's the same castle they ran into earlier in the movie that is protected by the French.
Mhm.
The French knights then taunt them as Arthur and Bedivere try to break in, but they give up. And Arthur and Bedivere leave and call up their army for an attack. And a bunch of knights come out of nowhere and start preparing. And
Yeah.
when Arthur, like, how did they get there?
How did they
How
get
did they
there?
know? I don't know, but they came through.
They did.
Arthur and his army then charge the castle, but are stopped by the police and the wife of the dead historian. And Arthur and Bedivere are put into, well, they're covered by a bag and put into a police van. And the recording of the movie is stopped.
Yeah, the movie's just over. It was the most. It was so abrupt. I was like, "What's going on?"
And then because the credits are at the beginning of the movie, you're
It's just
just sitting
black.
there. Yes. It's just 3 minutes of like score music happening in the background.
Mhm.
And yes, that is the end of the movie.
Yes, it is.
Are you ready for the movie facts?
I am.
So this movie was filmed in 5 weeks with a budget of $400,000.
Okay.
Wherever they were filming, they were denied most of the castles that they scouted to film. So one of the castles that they were approved for, Castle, I'm gonna butcher the name, Castle Dune, was used as 3 different locations.
Okay.
So every castle you see in this movie is one castle, just
I love
different parts of it.
love that for them.
Yes. My next one, the famous depiction of galloping horses by using coconut shells, a traditional radio show sound effect, came about from the purely practical reason that the production simply could not afford real horses.
I could tell.
Yes. If you couldn't tell that this movie was low budget, that's a good indicator.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of history for you. The French tactic of pelting Arthur and his knights with livestock echoes the relatively modern legend of a medieval siege of the fortified southern French town of, I'm going to say this horribly wrong, Car- Carcassonne? Yes. Said to have been near starvation. The town people used the last of their food to pelt the besieging army to convince them, suffering likewise, that the town was well stocked with food and that the siege was hopeless. the tactic was successful and the siege was lifted.
Okay.
And I did say there was a movie fact about the opening credits.
Hmm.
So when this movie was screened at the Cannes Film Festival, the audience laughed at the opening credits. However, the projector stopped and the audience just roared with laughter, thinking it was all part of the movie. It turned out there was a bomb scare, and firemen came in and made everyone in the cinema evacuate.
Hilarious. That's so funny. Just like you're just watching a movie and all of a sudden, no, like you really need to leave.
Yeah, right. Like you think it's all part of the joke, and then you don't take it seriously, and then they're like, "Nah, there's a literal bomb threat happening right
Right.
now.
Like we
You
need you to
need to
leave
leave."
right now.
So, Jordan, here comes the question:
Okay.
is this movie iconic?
I put no. In fact, I was quite bored most of the time and confused. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that a lot of people see this movie as a classic. I understand that. I see where you could see it
Yeah,
as a classic. It just wasn't my type of humor.
yeah. It is a little dated.
It was
It
it
is a
was
little
it
dated.
was a little dated for me.
Yeah. Also, this movie is based off of the TV show. So there is a TV show,
There's a TV show.
Monty Python and the Flying Circus. That's what the TV show was called. And so it's then Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and then there's a couple of other movies, Monty Python and the whatever. So
So I've
yeah,
only ever heard of this. So okay.
yeah, because I think that this is the most like iconic or classic one, Monty
O-
Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay.
I think I think I'm gonna say it's iconic,
Okay.
just because like I excuse me, I will always remember the Frenchman saying that his mother was a hamster and his father smelled of elderberry, which basically meant he was calling his mom a slut and his dad a drunkard.
Okay.
I will always remember that. For some reason it just sticks in my head. And then the night when he gets his arm cut off, it's like tis but a scratch. I will always remember that.
Okay.
So just because like I've seen this before, I think it's iconic.
Oh, excuse me.
So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
yeah, it's just because it's nostalgic. I think
Maybe if I had seen it earlier in life,
maybe
this
maybe.
was my first time watching this.
Mm-hmm.
Got to cross it off on my watch list. That was nice.
Two birds, one stone.
Two birds, one stone.
So, Jordan, what are
Hmm.
your recommendations this week?
Okay, I have three. My first one is 315 parentheses breathe by Russ. Great song.
Hmm,
Great little vibey song. My
okay.
second one is I Can Love You by Mary J. Blige featuring Lil Kim. Great song.
Ooh,
Great song. Classic, actually.
I love that.
Um, play it play it anywhere. Weddings, funerals, hospital stays, graduations.
It'll fit any occasion.
It'll fit any occasion.
Put it on every playlist. Everyone
Hmm.
will love it.
Yeah. You feeling a little sad? Play it. You feeling happy? Play it.
Play it. You're feeling Delulu? Play
Play it. Definitely if you're feeling Lulu.
it.
I was driving back from the movie theaters when the song came on. I was like, yeah.
Yes.
If I told you once, I told you twice. Yep. I was having the
Hey,
time of my life.
love that for you.
Um, Last recommendation is Take You Down by Stenage.
Hmm. Okay.
New song. Pretty good.
Okay.
Hmm. What about you, Kelly?
So I have three recommendations. They're all new stuff. So my first one is an album by Laufey called Bewitched. It's if you've never heard of Laufey before, she is like jazz, swing music, very like Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra esque music.
Okay.
I love that type of music. Like that's like my happy place. So I love that we have somebody now doing that same type of music. Love it. Um, My second recommendation is Balot by Doja Cat. And I don't I don't know if anybody else knows this, but Balot in Tagalog is in the Filipino culture is a food dish where it's an unborn chicken that you eat directly from the egg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So imagine my surprise when this
Interesting.
song is very vibey. Doja has never released a song like this before. It's very vibey. It's
Okay.
actually really good. Like despite the title, it's a really good song.
Okay.
The title has nothing to do with the song. So I was just very confused the whole time. But yeah, good song. And then my third and last recommendation is Slime You Out by Drake featuring SZA.
Okay.
I love me a good Drake song. I love me some SZA. Put them together, I'm going to love it. So
Okay. Great.
it's a very feelsy song though. So like if you're not in your feels, don't listen to it.
I'm almost never in my feels, so that's great.
I'm almost always in my feels, maybe because I just have too many feelings. So
Oh, I'm dead inside, so that's probably why.
I love how we're on the same wavelength, and then like you see us, or like if you know us, we're totally opposite people sometimes.
Hmm.
So it's very surprising, like because like to you guys, we might be on the same wavelength all the time, but like personality wise, we are so different.
We're very different people.
We are very different people, but for some reason, one single wavelength is connecting us.
Hmm. Yeah.
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 So that's me. Those are my
Okay.
recommendations.
That's great. Thank you so much for listening. What a week it's been.
Yes. And what a
Um,
week it will be, Jordan.
and what a week it will be. Um, we should have talked about this at the beginning, but a lot of celebrity couples are getting divorced. Like
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
read about Hugh Jackman yesterday.
Yeah, Hugh
Oh my
Jackman.
gosh. Like what is in the air?
What is in the air? And then
Why is everybody getting divorced or breaking up right now?
today, I think Tiana Taylor mentioned that she's breaking up with her husband. Like
What is happening?
what's going on?
What
I
did Joe
think
Jonas do? Did he set this all off?
I think you know what I think is happening. I
Huh.
think people are finally realizing that marriage sucks. it's
I
it's
mean,
it's no longer filling that itch it used
oh
to.
no. I mean, you know what? You know what I thought it would be? I thought it would be like all the 2020 marriages getting to that like 3 year mark and being like, oh, I
I'm
married
sure
you in a
that's
weird time.
happening. I'm sure that's
I'm sure that is
happening.
happening, but I felt like that would be like most of the celebrity like divorces right now
Oh,
because
I don't.
I feel like a lot of people got married around that time,
Did
and then
they?
I feel like it like people secretly got married or people secretly got together and whatever, and you didn't hear about it until like 2021. You're like, wait, these two people are dating and now they're breaking up. Like
I
I
can't
felt
think
like
of
that
any right
happened.
now.
Um,
I know Sarah Hyland got married, but I feel like she like just got married like a couple of months ago.
I feel like my whole
Like she was supposed to get married in 2020, but then like COVID happened, and
mm,
she just
mm,
got
mm,
married a couple
mm, mm,
months ago, maybe even a year ago.
mm. Well, my whole concept of time is just
Oh
off
yeah,
after
my concept
2020
of time
anyway.
is over. Like
Because 2020 felt like 2 years anyway.
when I found out 2 weeks ago that the Queen of England had been dead for a year, I was like, "What do you mean?"
Right! Right. Oh my gosh. And then like my mom brought up Olivia Newton-John and she's like, "Oh yeah, she's been dead for like a couple of years now or like a year or two now." I'm like,
What are you talking
I felt
about?
like
That just
I felt like
happened
that just happened.
last month.
Right. So I was like, I my concept of time is screwed.
Screwed up.
I could be just talking mess right now about like when all of this is happening. So
She sure did die in 2022. What do you mean? That's insane. No, no, she just died like 2 weeks ago. Be real.
no, seriously. Oh my lord.
That's insane. I can't.
The queen did die this year though, right? That was this
No,
year.
it was last year, Kelly. It was last year. It was last September, and I was like, that can't be right. I was like,
That
no,
doesn't feel right.
it does
That
not
doesn't
feel
feel
right.
right.
They're
Why did
lying
I feel
to
like?
us, Kelley.
Why did I feel like she died in like the spring?
I feel like she did too.
Right, like she died at like May June era. Like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, please. I can't handle this.
I can't handle it either, but you're gonna have to. I'm sorry.
Oh god,
I'm
we have to end
sorry.
this episode.
We do. Um, yeah, so thank you so much for listening. Don't
Thank
forget
you.
to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and Instagram. They're both at SY2I Podcast. Don't forget to send us your movie requests or your movie stories at our email, sy2ipodcast@gmail.com. Anyone else die that feels like they just died, but like turns out they died like 5 years ago or something?
Right, exactly.
Like, let us know.
Please.
Because like, what is time right now?
No, seriously, what is going on?
Let us know. sy2ipodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to share us with your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts with 5 stars.
Thank you.
Thank you. The new COVID booster is coming out. Everyone, go get your COVID booster. Um, everyone, pray for me. Have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, pray for Kelley to work out her planned Delulu era,
Yes.
and pray that this strike ends next week, so that
Yes. Oh my lord.
we could do some Halloween movies.
Please, I'm begging on my knees.
Begging and pleading. Thank you. And stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.